Today on Singles Court, Scott's public display of gay makes Ralph feel queer.
You know, I had my whole come around to my big, beautiful feathers, and I had my pretty thong to match. Girl, I was going.
He wants Scott to rein it in.
I ain't gonna change.
I'm not trying to change you. All I'm saying is that everybody has to have a certain decorum and a way of respectability.
And Tracy's having trouble reading Todd.
I think that maybe he's involved in some illegal activities.
And she wants some answers before they tie the knot.
He doesn't want people to know his address or anything.
Oh my God. But you've been to his house, right? You've been to his house. You know he really lives there. He's not married.
I know, but it's as if he doesn't want
can't see where I live, you know? It's me.
Hi, I'm Michael Day. Welcome to Singles Court, the #1 show on the Singles Broadcast Network and the place where singles come to find solutions to their relationship problems. And here's the lady who listens to them, nationally syndicated relationship expert, Angela Siegel.
Hi, Michael.
How are you today, my dear?
I'm fine, I'm fine.
Okay.
Don't you think I look fine?
You look fine. You look like a lady who wants to get down to business also.
Well, don't let the looks deceive you, but we'll do it anyway.
Let's get to it then. In the studio today, we have Ralph and Scott. Ralph is a consultant, and Scott manages a clothing store. The two have been living together for 5 years now, and, well, everything is fine at home, but Ralph has a problem with Scott's public behavior. So I call this the case of flaunt it when you want it.
Ralph, what seems to be the problem?
Angela, it's very simple. You know, I want you to know first off the top, contrary to Scott's opinion, that I really do love him. He's a fantastic guy, and I have a great time with him. But
Scott,
certain
Ralph,
things he's begun to do.
You tell me you love me, but you got me up in here. What am I doing in here, honey? We don't need to be here.
The fact is that, Scott, you have just
out.
become a little too wild and too crazy. For instance, when we go to my office parties, let's say, for instance, the last Christmas party.
Please, what you mean?
He's become extremely flamboyant. It's to the point where he's just like in people's face and
no,
aggressive.
No, that's not. I mean,
let's
that's me,
back up.
Ralph. That's the guy you met. That's who you love.
Well, you know what, and that's what I was going to say. I mean,
That is not.
But did he change?
What I love. I love him. I don't love the behavior that he displays at my work.
Did you,
let me tell you how we met.
When you met him, what kind of behavior did he display?
When I met him, we were at a party, and it was a
So he was in
costume
public.
party.
Can I tell you about the party?
It was not one of my
It was a theme party.
It was a party in the gay community, and it was a whole different scenario altogether. But when he comes to a party,
but you met him. You didn't answer the question, Scott. How were you? How were you when he met you?
Let me tell you, Angela. Angela, we were at a party. You see, one of our friends was leaving for a year, and so we had like this theme party, kind of like he was going to South America. So we had this kind of whole Rio carnival theme party happening. And you know, I had my whole come around to my big, beautiful feathers, and the feathers came down. I had my pretty thong to match. Girl, I was going, baby. I was like, woo!
I would say that's pretty flamboyant.
And he was looking at me all night. And you know what? By the time halfway through the night was gone, he had me out in the backyard under the tree.
Okay, that's enough information.
And we was loud. No, I ain't gonna say anymore, but what I'm trying to say is that's my spirit, honey. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Situation.
He loved that spirit.
And I think you have to respect that. The fact is now.
Okay, so you met him in that environment.
In that environment. But the fact is.
Did you think? But did you think that behavior was exclusive only to that environment?
To some extent, because when we're just alone in the gay community or at home, that's not how he behaves.
How long have you all been together?
5 years.
Okay, so for 5 years, I'm supposed to believe the only time he acts like that is at a theme party?
Thank you, sister. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
The point is that Scott has become more crazy. In fact, it's become flip, surface, shallow, and it's that's not the person that I met, okay?
Well, listen to me. Look at
and all I'm asking is that he would just
take the time. He's in his corporate world.
Ladies.
You better stop. You cute.
Michael.
You cheating your bad self over there.
Scott.
Well, I like it. Oh, yes,
question.
I'm sorry.
When you go to other public places with him, don't you at least think, well, gosh, you know, he doesn't like me to act like this, so maybe I can have some sort of compromise? Isn't there some middle ground? Nice.
Well, you know, I got to be honest with you. I try to compromise, okay?
Okay, give me an example.
My compromise, in fact, I go with him because I really don't want to be a part of that world. He's doing his whole corporate thing, and I love that, okay? That's the man. That's the other person to me.
So you consider it a compromise just to go?
Yeah.
So therefore, you go in what? Like, give me an example. If you go to his corporate event,
Christmas party,
what would you wear?
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't really dress like that. As you can see, I'm a little more.
We're in a corporate environment, and he comes showing up with, some shirt that is like open down to the navel.
And my line comes from Europe.
It's not the right place.
I mean, this is me. I own a clothing store.
But you own a clothing store, so therefore you know that you dress to the event, not to what you want to wear. Would you at least agree with that?
That would be nice.
I could agree with that partially, but most of the time I only go to a social event anyhow. So I mean, I don't think they should be tied to such a dress code for a social event. I mean, you dress how you want to dress.
But you're his guest.
Ain't that right?
But Scott, all I'm asking you is that you take
You're his guest, and you have a relationship with him.
I'm his guest.
But do you think that you owe him anything with respect to that besides just the fact that you go?
Yeah, I do. But here's the other problem I have, honey, is what I'm trying to tell you is, my man here, when he's in that world, he's also a different person. Okay?
Well, what do you mean?
Because the man that I met is not the man I see at his corporate events. I mean, when he's in the gay community with us, he's a lot more vibrant, dynamic. I mean, he maybe even looks stuffy like that. I mean, he can't even breathe.
Scott, the reality is that everybody has to fit into the...
He breathes, he lets loose, he lets down, and I love that man.
That's when you come
when I get over there, he becomes this tight boy that can't even...
It sounds like his complaint with you is the same complaint you have with him.
Thank you. Thank you, honey. So I know what he's talking about.
It's not quite the same.
Why not? What's the difference?
Ralph, it's exactly the same. How can it be different? The point is you being something different.
What we're seeing is a put on, a pretense.
But when I see you in your world, honey, you're not the real Ralph. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I mean, I understand, you have to kind of fit and fit the mold of this business world.
But why do you act that way?
Honey, all you got to do is adjust. You ain't got to change. You understand what I'm saying?
Why do you act that way?
I don't act any way. Okay?
Michael, can you throw a bomb in between them?
I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
No, you call me baby. You call me honey, and I let them all slide. But if you do it again, I'm gonna punch you in your face. So don't do it anymore, okay?
Oh, no, I'm scared of you.
Just so you know.
I'm scared of you.
Because I don't like that. He might think it's cute, I don't.
Can I call him honey?
I don't care what you call him, but don't call me that.
Oh, okay.
If you want a solution to what's going on, I think you need to first look at the fact that each of you has to respect one another. So my question to you is, what are you gonna do? You understand that you don't particularly like how he carries on in your environment, and you have the same problem. So what are you gonna do to change it? What are you going to do to help him about you?
To help him about me?
Yeah.
I ain't got to help him about me. All I got to do is be me. I mean, he had no problem with that. I mean, I understand I can't, when I'm here in his environment, I mean, people seem like they have a good time when I'm there. I just like to have a good time.
Scott, why do you feel so strongly that you have to be so out there, that everybody has to know your sexual orientation? Why do you think it's so important?
No, I'm not seeking attention.
I asked him.
Thank you. I'm not seeking attention.
Well, what is it?
All I'm trying to say is that, I mean, for all these years, I mean, we've always been wanting to sort of fit in and fit the mold. Well, that's not me. That's not us. He's only being this way because it's his job. Before he got this job, he wasn't like that. He was one way all the time. So now he's like this. So me, I'm the same. See, my job is my business. I own the business.
Okay, but everybody's not in that same position. But if you were in the military, you wouldn't be able to wear your own clothes.
But he want me to change. He want me. I ain't got to change.
I'm not trying to change you. All I'm saying is that everybody has to have a certain decorum and a way of respectability in the everyday world. And all I'm saying is that we have to try to deal with that.
It's not like I had you all up in a corner like we've done before at parties, or we've gone, and snugged up in a corner or something. I ain't doing all that. Well, I'm just saying, we ain't doing all that. So, I'm just having a good time. I'm sorry.
Boy, you get that mouth going, I swear. Ralph, do you understand what he's saying? That he feels squelched, like he's not able to be himself. I mean, what can you do to help him be able to be who he is?
I don't know what I can do. All I'm saying, what I'm seeing is that Scott is not being himself. He's putting on a pretense. He comes to a place where he's always in people's face and attacking people, and it's becoming irritating.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm saying the exact same thing. He's not being himself. And I think if I stay where I am.
This is about two people wanting something different than what they already have. You both have the same complaint, wanting the same solution. Ralph, you accuse Scott of being flamboyant, and that you said was hurting the relationship. However, when you met him, he had on a Carmen Miranda outfit. So what did you think you were getting? Scott, first I want to apologize to you because I would never advocate violence, because I did say I would punch you in the face. I wasn't really going to do that. But I wanted you to understand that when you address a woman that you don't know, that you just met, they usually don't want to be called honey or baby. So hopefully you learned your lesson.
I was just getting a little
Okay. I won't, I mean, and I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
You can say that you're naturally flamboyant, and that's fine. We can accept that. But when your behavior hurts the relationship, that's where you have to sometimes take a step back for the sake of the relationship. You know, in general, in a relationship, both people, have to make adjustments in their personality. Not total adjustments, just little adjustments. And you do it for the sake of the relationship. If you look at your situation, Ralph, you accepted him as he was, and sometimes it may get on your nerves, but if he makes a little adjustment, and Scott, you on the other hand, you make a little adjustment for his corporate behavior, you'd be surprised where you end up in the long run. Because both of you can live together, love each other, and understand that you're both making an effort. And that's really what counts. So I can say this to you today that, you know, just because you come out of the closet, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be tastefully dressed.
Next on Singles Court.
Oh, come on.
Tracy's having trouble reading Todd,
I think that maybe he's involved in some illegal activities.
and she wants some answers before they tie the knot.
He doesn't want people to know his address or anything.
Oh my
But you've
God.
been to his house, right? So you know he really lives there.
You should just
He's not
stop it.
married.
I know, but it's
It's not
as if
like
he doesn't
people
want
can't
any.
see where I live, you know? It's big.
And Singles Court is back with nationally syndicated relationship expert Angela Siegel.
Boy, Michael, I tell you, I'm trying to tell people about dressing right for fashion, you know, the single thing. And they think all I want to do is shop. They think I have an ulterior motive.
Well, no. You are very talented in many facets.
I know.
And we need some of your talents today because in the studio we have two singles with problems, and they need your help. Please say hello to Tracy and Todd. Tracy is a sales clerk, and Todd is independently wealthy. But obviously that's not their problem. The problem arises when Todd recently asked Tracy to marry him. However, she has a few questions about his life before she gives an answer. I call this the case of the secret identity.
Tracy, you hooked a man with money. I mean, what's the question?
Exactly.
I'm kidding.
It's a bunch of little things that add up to one
I understand.
big thing, which is that I don't trust him, and I don't feel like I could accept his proposal until I trust him.
Well, I agree with you. So let's go back over the things you don't trust. What are the little things?
Well, to start off, we met about 6 months ago at the clothing store that I work in.
I was
and
walking by and she was working there. And,
Yeah,
and
and
I wasn't even going to shop that day, but I saw her and I went in.
And he came in a lot of times, and he bought, you know, 4 suits, and so anyways, then
So
we
you
started
work in a
dating.
men's clothing store?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. That's a good way to hook a man.
And anyways, I kind of got the point that he had a lot of money. So you'd think that a guy who had, you know, 3 cars and a big house and stuff, he might want to take me somewhere other than one restaurant.
What one?
For the past 6 months.
No, okay, like-
we go to his brother's
Well,
restaurant.
6 months anyway. Don't you think that's a short amount of time? Like, how often did you all see each other in over a 6-month period?
Well, a lot.
A lot.
We were
Like,
dating.
what, 4 or 5 times a week. And it's always been great. Everything's like perfect.
No, it's
No,
it's not great.
It is. It's
Well, it's not perfect, or you wouldn't be here.
Well,
Exactly.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
We go to one restaurant all the time, his
What-
brother's restaurant.
Well-
Or we go to McDonald's through the drive-through.
My brother's-
Where he always gets
My-
a Coke, a hamburger, and French fries.
well, no, I got McNuggets. I get all kinds of different stuff from McDonald's.
The
No, but-
point is, we always go to the same place.
Okay, but some people are creatures of habit.
Thank
Okay,
you.
but-
Thank you very much.
So I mean, I can understand that because I eat the same donut every day and the same cup of coffee.
Okay, but I'm starting to think that maybe he, you know, maybe doesn't want to be seen with me. And
Oh, come on.
But
That's-
my question is, I
look-
can understand. Let me ask you this, Todd, because I can understand creatures of habit. I mean, I eat like a 12-year-old, so I can understand that.
too.
But other restaurants have the same habit stuff that we like. So explain to me why you're always going to the same restaurant.
Well, no, my brother and I own the restaurant together where he works at, and like the food there is good, and I like taking her there. And I took her there.
Okay, but
I took her there last week to propose to her, and.
But she wants to go somewhere else.
Well, okay, fine. We'll go somewhere else. Fine, okay.
No, but he
now
always
we
says that.
So
He-
can we get married now?
You
Like
always
what?
say that, and we can't go anywhere else. I mean, it was our 6-month anniversary. I wanted to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
other
but we
than-
had the place set up completely
Doesn't
for the
matter.
entire
But, you know, but
for the
I will tell
proposal
you-
that night.
matter.
Todd, I'll tell you what you're scaring me. See, I'm really trying to feel you on this, but you're scaring me on the idea that you really knew she didn't want to go back there, yet for the 6-month anniversary, you set up the place for her to go back there. So help me understand why you would do that.
Because no, but
Clearly
like,
against her wishes.
Yeah, but it's the only restaurant. It's the only restaurant we have. right?
Oh.
So I mean, like we could clear out the whole place.
So
it was just us. You should have seen the meal. It was good.
Okay,
It was
okay.
all so
So
set
in your
up
town, you
just
have
for
one
us.
restaurant?
Obvious who's going to be catering the wedding.
Yeah, there you go. And that's something
I
you don't
give
have to
another
worry
example?
about. So now
Okay,
we
yeah,
can-
please do, because
Thank you.
the restaurant one, he hasn't convinced me on that
See,
one.
that's the thing. It's all little things,
Okay.
but it adds up
That's
to...
a big one. Okay,
but-
go ahead. What else?
Okay, no newspapers delivered to his house, no magazines. I think that maybe he doesn't want people to know his address or anything.
Oh my!
But you've been to
no.
his house, right? You've been to his house. You
Yeah.
know he really lives there.
You should see the
He's
si-
not
it's a big
married.
house.
but it's
It's
as
not
if
like
he doesn't
people
want
can't
any-
see where I live. You know, it's big.
Well, why
And-
don't? I mean, let me ask you. Why don't you have something to come? I mean,
Wait,
you
okay,
might not
fine.
like
You want
newspapers.
newspapers? I'll get newspapers. Fine.
It's not the point.
Why?
The
What's
point,
wrong with that?
I don't care that now you'll say, okay, fine,
Well,
I'll
what
get
is-
newspapers. But the point is you just don't have any. You
Well,
don't.
no. I watch TV. I listen to the radio. That's.
But
that's
Todd,
you
what
care
she's-
about news?
Todd, what she's saying is that you don't have anything addressed to you coming to your house. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like that would be additional material that you could learn from besides TV or radio.
It's just strange. It's nothing. It's not a big thing, but it's just strange.
It's strange. What else?
He just
what
got
do
a
you have-
computer last month,
It was a
and he
gift.
doesn't even have emails.
I don't like email. People do email all the time. They never leave the house anymore. They're just emailing each other.
You know,
over the
I mean,
net.
I have to say to you, I'm listening to you. I really am trying to feel you on this. I am. And you have these lists of things, but they're not like tremendous.
I know
especially
they're
when
not
you say
tremendous,
that-
but they're all little things that add up to a big thing. And frankly, I'm not
What do
going
you
to
think,
accept his
though?
proposal unless he clears them all up.
What do you think? I mean, because these things have made you think something bad, or else you wouldn't be so afraid. What is it that you think? He doesn't have these things, so therefore what?
I think that maybe he's involved in some illegal activities or
That's such bull.
I think he's a
drugs
drug
or.
lord.
That's
Michael.
That's
Well, I'm just throwing out guesses.
I mean,
that's bull.
why do you think that? You think that because he
But
doesn't?
he's always going to meetings. Always going to these
No,
meetings.
okay,
He doesn't tell me
but-
where he's going, who he's going with.
It's-
Obviously, I have to
because
think
it's-
that maybe there's
it's-
something
there's-
like.
There's nothing wrong. No.
Well, Todd, why are you so secretive? I mean, I can understand it, but explain it.
Because, look, can't we just like forget about the whole thing, get married, and it's fine?
No.
I mean, why? Why do you have to know? Why do you have to know? It's a little. You know, I love you. It's
Todd, okay? What happens usually before people get married is they have disclosure. This is where I live, this is what I do, these are things I like to do on my time off.
Right.
You are trying to say, I don't want to tell you these things, just marry me anyway. So let's back up.
Okay,
Okay?
fine. I can't read.
Right.
Trace, I can't read. Okay. I'm stupid. Okay.
What do you mean you can't read?
I can't read. I'm severely dyslexic. I stopped going to school when I was in ninth grade.
Todd.
And that was I can't read. I can't. I never learned how to read. That's what I'm doing at the meetings. That's why I don't get newspapers. That's why I don't get any
Well,
of that
what are you
stuff.
doing at the meetings? Learning how to read?
Yeah, I'm learning how to read. It was going to be like a surprise for you, and I wanted you to know
How
when
can
I
you
knew how to
surprise
read.
her? I mean, I feel your pain, I do. I'm seeing right through it. However, how can you surprise her with something you didn't even tell her? Surprise, I can read. She's going to go, what? I didn't know you couldn't read.
Exactly.
Well,
You
I didn't
didn't
want to
trust
tell her
me
when I
enough to-
couldn't read because I don't want you to think you're dating an idiot, you know?
I can't believe you wouldn't have trusted me enough to know that I wouldn't have cared about that. I mean, you're going to
But Tracy,
read.
do you understand what he's saying? He's saying to you, I have this big thing, and I was afraid to tell you, and all you're saying is you're mad because he didn't tell you.
Isn't the bigger thing, though, that he couldn't trust me and he...
No, you tell me. You think that's the bigger thing? The fact that he at least told you now, and that he loves
Yeah,
you,
but
and
we
it's
had to come
been,
here to do it.
it's like, well, you know what? He could have not told you at all, and then
Trace,
you would have
I-
been sitting in the library by
and I-
yourself reading books.
There you go. And I haven't told anybody before.
Heard what you had to say. Guess what? Now I get to talk. Be right back. Revealing the truth is often painful. Todd, in this case, you know, I understand why you didn't reveal the fact that you couldn't read. And you're probably right. Most people probably would have judged you based on that fact. However, when you look at your life and the successes that you've had, and you look at your economic power, the reality is this is a material world, and people will level the playing field for that. But what really matters is your heart, because your heart is the measure for relationships. Tracy, I can understand you're being upset with the fact that he didn't tell you. And you're right, he was wrong for not telling you. However, I think you have to look within your own heart and understand that he's hid it from everyone his whole life. So to tell you would have been something totally different than what he was used to doing. So I think you have to understand where he's coming from and open your heart and allow yourself to forgive him. You know, relationships that harbor a secret are really difficult. What they do is they require that you use a lot of effort, unwarranted effort. So it doesn't leave much for the relationship. And in this case, Todd, you used a lot of energy and effort to keep it from everybody, including her. On the other hand, Tracy, when you look at Todd, Todd loves you, and he wants to provide you with a stable marriage. What I suggest is a long engagement. I think that's necessary. 6 months is a short time, so I suggest a long engagement. And I suggest that you join your local library, or heck, you're rich. Make a big donation to the library, and make that the place that you two meet. Make that the place that you two learn to love each other. And as you read and get more and more into the books, you'll find that you have a lot more things in common than you think.
Well, there it is. Join us next time here at Singles Court, the final word for singles.